When I started freelancing almost a decade ago, there were no YouTube channels, no blog posts, no courses. I didn't even know that what I was doing, working on my own as a graphic designer, was called freelancing. I had to learn everything on my own. And I am not telling you this or anything like that, but just to tell you that there are some lessons that I so wish somebody would have told me when I was just starting. And I mean, there are a lot of lessons, but I'm going to tell you three that I consider like basics that every freelancer should know. Starting with, you don't have to offer everything. Look, I get it. When you are just starting, the only thing you care about is getting clients. And you apply to everything you can remotely deliver, and even to things that you actually can't. So if you know how to draw, you will say yes to illustrate children's books, you will say yes to design characters for video games, to make explainer corporate videos, draw mascots for companies, everything. Or at least that is what I was doing. I got my first clients through Elance and Odesk, and the only thing on my mind was get clients, get money. But let me tell you, it doesn't exactly work that way. Or at least it's not the smartest way to go about it. I mean, yes, of course, you need clients to earn money. When you say yes to everything under the sun, you end up competing with thousands of freelancers who think the same. And you become part of the replaceable group. That group that can only compete by charging less. It took me a couple of months of working 10 hours a day to realize that I was earning next to nothing. Before I realized that things needed to change. Before I realized that I needed to specialize. Specialization has been one of the greatest lessons I've learned working on my own. And I'm not talking about, yeah, I specialize in logo design, I specialize in websites. No, that's not it. Those are skills, but you need to change the way you think about it. Instead of skills, you need to think about problems that your client has that you can solve by using those skills. And once that clicked for me, I stopped applying to every single job and only focused on those that I knew I could bring real value to. And my fees went up. Talking about money, let's jump right into the second lesson. And that is, money is not really that important. And I just lost everybody who was watching this video. I remember when I first started working that money stressed me out so much. I was constantly doubting myself. Should I use an hourly fee? Should I charge per project in installments? What are my competitors charging? Will my client think that I'm too expensive? And let me tell you, the wrong clients will always think that you're too expensive. It's very easy as a freelancer to think about money as the end goal and forget that money is a medium to pay bills, buy food, buy things that you like, maybe pay debts, save, invest, whatever. Your fee is just a number that doesn't really matter all that much unless you know how to sell your services to clients, the right clients. This means making it crystal clear to your potential clients how you are bringing value to their lives and why that has a specific tag price attached to it. Selling is the most important skill any freelancer can learn. You shouldn't think about selling as something like icky and disgusting. It is part of your business. It is part of working on your own. And it's not really all that hard to do once you learn how to do it, but it is responsible for your success as an entrepreneur. If you don't learn how to sell, then you will probably go back to being an employee. I so wish I would have focused on that part, on learning how to sell, on getting skills as a marketer when I was starting, instead of focusing so much on the numbers themselves. Because if you know how to sell, you can change those numbers easily. I know it's hard to change the way you think about it. After all, you are working to earn money, right? But having your own business is so much more than that. It's creating something that works for the life you want, beyond just how many hours you put on the clock. And this takes me to the final, and I think one of the most important lessons: boundaries. Because if you think that only family and friends can be toxic, well, I have something to tell you. Not all clients are the same. I used to think that as long as the client pay me, everything was wonderful. It didn't matter if they requested changes every 10 minutes, sent me messages at Sundays at 6 a.m., or were downright unpleasant to work with. The thing about working on your own is that there is no buffer between you and the client. There is no boss, there is no manager to deal with shitty attitudes. There are no assistants to send messages on your behalf. Difficult clients get old real fast. And trust me when I tell you that in the long run, the money is just not worth it. You need to take care of your mental health as well. But what it took me forever to understand is that real bad clients don't exist. There are only freelancers who create bad clients by not having any boundaries. Bad clients were my fault, and that was a very tough pill to swallow. I mean, it's just so much easier to blame others. This client is crazy if they think that I'm going to deliver this in just one day. Who do they think they are by sending messages on Saturday nights? Oh my god, the scope just changed again? The truth is that it was my responsibility to guide the client through the project. Be clear about communication channels, working hours, and set expectations about what the project entails and the results they could expect. I mean, granted, you only learn about real boundaries and processes once you have a certain amount of experience by working with clients. My boundaries may not be yours, but it doesn't mean you can't think about boundaries right at this moment. What things are you willing to put up with, and what things are definitely not an option? What are your priorities? And how would your freelance business look like when you take them into account? One of my boundaries was working with a certain type of clients, the right clients. And if you want to know how I chose them, then check out this video.